Hi ladies, it's me Lillian, helping you to feel well, live better with less stress, more calm and rest. And today's video is, do we de-stress or do we unstress? That is the question. I don't know whether you've heard of the word unstress. I'm sure you've heard of the word de-stress. But for me, there's two differences in those words and how we apply them to our lives as well. So to de-stress is to detach yourself from stress or the stressful situation. It's more about de-stressing in the current time, in the present time, which a lot of us tend to do, but it's a short-term solution. It's not a long-term thing. See, because with stress, you've got to look at the root of stress and how it's come about in your life. And there are different ways that stress comes about. It could be through work, it could be through relationships, but most importantly, stress derives from our thoughts, our perceptions, how we perceive a thing. Someone might be in a certain situation and they may not perceive it as stressful. Put another lady in that same situation and she may find it very stressful. She might perceive it as stressful. So that in a summary, that is what stress is. That's the definition of stress. So when we then go to de-stress, we're actually detaching ourselves from that stressful situation or that environment or whatever is creating the stress. But you have to remember that where the origin of stress starts is first in our minds, in our thoughts, and in our perceptions. Now, some people don't like to hear that. They like to put the cause of stress outside of them, in their environment, and oh, it's that situation that's causing me to feel this way. No, you are disempowering yourself when you think that way, when you have that belief, when you have that mindset. Empower yourself and realize that the stress is actually coming through you, is coming to you and by you. Okay, I always say that stress doesn't happen to you, stress happens through you, because it originates from the mind, and then you get your chemical reactions, biochemical reactions that then create the effects of stress within our body. Okay, so to de-stress then is to detach ourselves away from the stress, but you cannot do that. You can only do that from your perceptions. Okay, so in order to de-stress, you need to first look at what are you thinking about that situation that you believe is causing you stress. Okay, now to unstress goes another level deeper. And this is something which I've uncovered during my year, especially my current year of recovery from the health crisis that I had in 2018, which was brought on by stress, my perception, my thoughts, etc. And to unstress is actually to de-excite your nervous system. It's where we start to look at the body. Because the perception of stress is born out of, the origin of stress is born out of our perceptions and our thoughts. Whatever happens in the mind reflects in the body. Whatever born in the mind gets expressed through the body. Okay? So to unstress then, because we can detach ourselves from what we perceive as a stressful situation, we get an effect, we get a reaction in our body. Now that may come about through illness, through disease, through sickness, through tension. When you start to feel the tension in your shoulders, in your neck, in your jaw, maybe you start to feel tension in your legs. Those are all reactions of, well, our perceptions, our thoughts. It's the biochemical reaction of stress. Okay, so then to unstress, we need to, what we call, de-excite the nervous system. Now, your nervous system will operate in two areas. It's our central nervous system, and it will either operate in our, what we call our parasympathetic system, or on our sympathetic system. The sympathetic system is our survival mechanism. So it's when you become stressed or you feel stressed, that is where your survival mechanism kicks in to keep you safe. Our parasympathetic nervous system is the one that allows us and helps us to relax, to rest, to digest our foods in a healthier wellness way. Okay, so in order for us to shift from feeling tense and frazzled or frenzied or frustrated, we need to shift from the sympathetic system into our parasympathetic system. Basically, that's to de-excite your nervous system. And in doing that, we bring about healing from the effects of stress. So those are the two differences between de-stress and unstress. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, you could pop a question in the comments below, or you could send me a personal message if you want to talk more about this. So just to summarize again, de-stress or unstress, which do we do? In fact, we do both. Okay, when you find yourself in a stressful situation, yes, it's good to detach from the stress, but like I said, stress originates first of all with our perception of how we're thinking and feeling about a certain situation. Then we move on to another level of unstressing. That is unstressing the effects that occur in our minds and in our bodies. Okay, and that is where we start to shift and move ourselves out of the survival mechanism of stress, the sympathetic system of our nervous system, into our parasympathetic system. So our relaxation, our calmness, our peace mode. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, send me a DM, a private message, or pop a question in the comments below. I'm happy to chat to you about it more. So I will see you in the next video.